What's up, Control Chaos? Azazel here, and this, this is a rare one for me. I don't usually do things that aren't on the schedule, don't usually do things that, you know, don't really fit the mold for this channel. But, I used to do the Azazel's Den, and then it turned into Chaos Den. And Justin used to head up the Chaos Gaming News, but his PC's still not working. So this is like this little amalgamation of like what used to be Azazel's Den, what used to be the Chaos Gaming News, which will return when he's back. There's just so much going on right now that I've been dropping in the fucking Discord server, which you're free to join. Click the link on our channel banner. I just kind of wanted to touch base on a few things. A few things that probably won't make it into this, this upcoming Chaos Den, due to how Red and I format that now. And there's a couple gaming related, things that are going on right now. So, in the past few weeks, a few topics will end up being in a video, all their own, with myself and Thurman, and potentially Red in there. In the nerd community, and James Gunn getting fired, Todd King needing to have fucking staff, bodyguards at San Diego Comic-Con because of the wedding issue of Batman. We've seen the actress for Starfire have to disable her Instagram comments because of the amount of hate she's getting. We've seen a lot of shit like that go on. That'll be in another video, a little bit of a rant about nerd culture in general. But the biggest gaming entertainment, fucking thing that's going on right now. And this one kind of makes me feel a little bit good. And all these links will be in the description of the video. Is Quantic Dreams fucking lost an employment court case, and this is because of the Photoshop montage scandal that was going on last year. That apparently David Cage and Guillaume de Fortemere, I'm probably mispronouncing that French name. Feel free to roast me in the comments of this video. They were accused of inappropriate behavior, photoshopping in, a lot of bullshit into these images. Also, essentially, schoolboy culture involving sexist and racist jokes, including examples and montages of the staff members' faces photoshopped onto those of Nazi soldiers and porn stars and posted around the studio and workplace. This court decision was handed down, and the tweets are in French, which I cannot read. But apparently this fucking just sides against David Cage and his rampant fucking stupidity, for lack of better terms, and allowing this kind of bullshit to go on behind the scenes. This has no need to exist whatsoever in today's society. Come on, you're a fucking grown-ass man photoshopping, coworkers and shit onto porn stars? Really? What are you, fucking 12? I've never liked the guy since, the whole Ellen Page scandal. I've never really liked him, period. His games are good. It's one of those good in the medial fucking sense there, but they're glorified movies, let's be honest here. But it's just like, you're acting like you're fucking 12, dude. You're probably in your 30s, 40s by now, and you're still acting like a fucking moron. Grow up. There's no place for this shit right now. My God. And the fact that he's continuing to fucking see success regardless of that. It's one of those, yes, you need to separate the artist from the art. Gaming, being the art here. Just like the JonTron situation, just like the PewDiePie situation, just like any of that. You separate artists from art. You can like their content, and that doesn't mean you have to like them. But the fact that he's still seeing success is quite alarming. The fact that fanboys will defend him to their dying breath is what alarms me. Like, you do know what this person has done in the past. You do know what they continue to fucking do. There's no need to defend them. You can still enjoy what they create, though. Another big one that does not shock me at all, because hashtag Activison. Both of the Marvel's Ultimate Alliance games have been delisted again from all platforms as of the time of this recording. Similar to what they did with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, similar to what they've done with the Deadpool game. It happens whenever a license expires for, purchase on the online market. If you can find a physical copy of the old ones, good fucking luck. I'm quite glad I signed these up last year while they were on sale, because they were two of my favorite games as a teenager. But the ports or remakes or whatever you want to call them were quite broken. I'm not going to lie. It took them a while to get them working because, again, Activision. But it's not uncommon for them to delist games once the license expires because they don't want to fucking renew them. They're seeing a huge drop in sales. They're like, we'll put them on sale one last time, and then if they're gone, you had 2 weeks notice. Fuck you. So yeah, it's it sucks. They were just on sale not too long ago. If you didn't sign them then, you might not be able to sign them again until they re-release them on the fucking Xbox 2 and the PS5 or whatever they're going to name these fucking platforms that are coming up. Because God knows if they're going to renew the license before then. Nobody was, foreseeing them renewing the license and making remasters or reboots or ports or whatever you want to call them. No, they weren't reboots essentially, but like remakes, ports, whatever. Up until now, when they were released, I think last year, if I'm not mistaken. It's quite odd that they only stayed up for a year. But then again, that last Turtles game only was on the market for a year. Fucking Deadpool on the Xbox One lasted about a year as well. So, yeah, it is what it is at this point. Like, it sucks. Maybe they'll get a physical release. I highly doubt it, though. So, go hunt down those 360 classics or the PS3 ones, people, because you're probably not going to see them again for a good while. And the one that every nerd on the planet is both happy for and dreading at the same goddamn time. The merger between 20th Century Fox and Disney has been approved. So this means that early next year, all of the Marvel properties, except for Spider-Man, and aside from Namor and those few outliers that nobody gives a pint of piss about, Namor and fucking Spidey are two pivotal ones that need to come home. But the rest, who cares, really? Like, let me know if you care about any of the others that Sony or other people still hold the rights to. We all know that Spider-Man still has that working deal, and we know that Namor would, I believe, be necessary if we were to have the Illuminati movie. So let me know if I'm wrong on that one as well. But, aside from that, we have the X-Men, we have Fantastic Four, we have fucking Deadpool, we have fucking, I believe, all those villains, pretty much, like, everybody else that matters. So we could potentially have, if Civil War would have waited a fucking 2 years, we could have had the true Civil War comic adaptation into a movie. We could have, we can now have, like, Avengers vs. X-Men. We can have fucking, Secret Invasion. We can have pretty much 99% of the giant comic lines the biggest, stories in Marvel's fucking library as true adaptations now, which is fucking phenomenal. We can have fucking House of M, we can have all this shit now, and it's fucking beautiful. The scary part of this is now Disney has a fucking monopoly, essentially. Oh my god. They own almost every giant franchise out there. Think about that for a minute. They own Star Wars. They own the Muppets. They made fun of this in the Wreck-It Ralph trailer. They own your childhood. They own Star Wars. They own all of this. It's fucking scary how much they actually own when you dive into it. Like, how this got approved amazes me. And I'm assuming that what had happened is they had to split certain properties up behind closed doors. Like, I know the one that they couldn't, Disney couldn't own was Fox Sports. I think there was a couple others back when the deal was announced that they could not take hold of. But it's fucking scary. Like, here's pretty much what happens now. Walt Disney and 21st Century Fox have voted in favor of a deal in which Disney will acquire large portions of the Fox company. The $71.3 billion deal will include 20th Century Fox films and TV studios, along with the FX, Nat Geo, Star India, and Fox's 30% stake in Hulu and 39% stake in Sky. The Hollywood Reporter reports that the combination merger proposal received a majority of shareholder votes from Fox remarkably quick in just 8 minutes. This appears to pave the way for Disney to own even more iconic brands, including the X-Men, Fantastic Four, both of which could find their way into the MCU. There have been a tense bidding war going on between Disney and Comcast for Fox and its assets. Comcast recently dropped its own $65 billion bid, paving the way for the merger to take place. Comcast reportedly remains interested in acquiring Sky's remaining assets. Disney itself has emphasized that the deal is a win for audiences, saying Fox will help them make richer, more complex worlds of interrelated characters and stories that audiences have shown they love. Aside from the obvious Marvel Comics synergy, this would also give Disney control over the Avatar franchise, The Simpsons, and Alien and Predator series. And the one that kind of boggles me right now, as somebody that grew up watching wrestling for, the majority of their life, is Fox recently dropped a bid to have rights to one of the flagship programs. I believe it was fucking SmackDown. So, does Fox own a stake in WWE? And if they own a stake in WWE, does that mean that technically Disney owns a stake in WWE now? Think about that for a minute. Not only is the alien queen a Disney princess, sort of, wouldn't that make any, say, Paige or Becky Lynch or any of these new WWE superstars, wouldn't that therefore kind of make them Disney princesses too? Think of the marketing rights for that now, because we've already seen like Barbie dolls that were recently announced like a couple Comic-Cons ago for these, essentially, they literally are like Barbie dolls. Now they're going to be in like the Disney princess lines. I took that on a weird fucking tangent, I'm sorry, but it's just fucking bizarre to think about. Disney owning a stake in WWE. Disney owning a stake in horror franchises. Disney owning a stake in fucking any of this shit is just fucking absurd. And now that they fucking own it, won't that make Dr. Frankenfurter a Disney princess too? Like, there's been memes going around all week, like, because of this. It's fucking weird to think about for a minute. It just shows how wide of a reach that fucking Disney has now. Like, I don't know what to think. Like, I'm glad that all my Marvel properties are almost under one roof again. At the same time, I'm scared because how much more will Disney continue to absorb at this point? Like, they don't have a whole lot more to acquire before they own all of Hollywood, essentially. So, and if they own FX, they own like Always Sunny. They own like they own fucking Archer. They own like, well, I guess they own like The Gifted and shit like that because they already own like X-Men. But like, I think The Strain was on FX, so they own like the broadcasting rights to The Strain now. It's quite fucked up when you think about it. Like, Disney owning all of this dark, gritty material now. Like, the final season of Archer airs next year. Will Disney have any say-so in how it's produced? Will they tone it down? Because if you've ever watched Archer, and if you haven't, go watch it. Like, if they own the broadcasting rights to Archer now, is it going to be toned down? Is it going to be, like, less cussing? Because it's a filthy show, language-wise. Always Sunny is just a raunchy fucking show. Stuff like that is just, like... I'm concerned of how much input they'll have in that, because on FX, Fox let them kind of have free reign. Like, will The Simpsons or Family Guy, will they tone that down? Fucking American Dad, stuff like that. It's going to be quite interesting to see this next year's, content come out from the Fox studios. At least, animation-wise, live-action-wise, see how the Disney input affects anything, if it tones down the humor, if it, allows them to have complete creative control still. Because that would be the deciding factor if this deal was a blessing or a curse. Holy shit. Technically, Meg Griffin would be a Disney princess now. Yes, I know this. None of this, what I'm saying about the Disney princesses actually makes fucking sense because they're not royalty. It's just me trying to fucking, wrap my head around of how fucked up this entire thing is. So feel free to roast me for that, whatever you want to do. Be my guest. It's just, it's dangerous at this point. How much shit that fucking Fox owned. Now Disney owning that. Because Fox itself used to scoop up little things here and there, and that's how they got this big. Disney did the same. And now Disney's just continuing to parasite off of everything else. Because they've become so big they can't technically be beat. As fucked up as it is, like... And there's been rumors now that because of this merger that the Dark Phoenix movie and New Mutants have already been shelved or canceled. Which doesn't surprise me because they'll probably immediately start working all the X-Men into their fucking plan. So, since Hugh Jackman's done playing Wolverine at this point, and fucking Patrick Stewart's done playing Professor X, etc., 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 my question for you for this video is, cast the newly branded MCU X-Men. What do you think Disney will use for their cast? Because there was a time when fucking this was the farthest thing from anyone's mind. These two franchises were ever different. They were always, they were so far dismissed from each other. And now that we have this fucking deal approved and this stuff's beginning to unravel and to, like, reality, essentially. What... Like, who would you cast? Is this simple as that? Like, I can't wrap my head around who I would cast in anything. Because... I hate to say it, like, I never pictured this actually happening. I never pictured this buyout coming through. I never, in my wildest dreams, believed that any of this would come to fruition. But it has, and I'm happy and I'm scared and I'm feeling all sorts of fucked up at the moment. Like, my God, it's really happened. Let's see if there's anything else in here that needs to be addressed. Ah, yes. Another Twilight Zone article. I forgot about this one. So, this one I just lost it on. So, as you know, Crash Bandicoot and Insane Trilogy on every platform now. Which is great, and it's fantastic. You know, Switch players can play it, Xbox One players can play it. But here's something I never thought I'd read for a headline. Sega to publish the former Sony exclusive Crash Bandicoot on Nintendo Switch in Japan. That is the headline. So, Sega, who competed against both these companies at one point in their life cycle, is now bowing to their supreme overlords, publishing what used to be a Sony exclusive franchise on a Nintendo platform. What fucking universe do we live in anymore? I read that 15 fucking times before I actually comprehended it. Because it's so bizarre to see this. Like, we know that Sega's published, you know, Sonic games on Nintendo. Woo, who cares? But, and Sega's published plenty of other games on fucking Nintendo. Nobody gives a shit about that. But the fact that it was a Sony exclusive, now on a Nintendo platform, is what lost me. Throw in that third factor and you lose me. I don't know if it's how much alcohol I consumed the night before. I don't know if it's how fucking bizarre it was. But my God, it just still hurts my soul. Like, we joked about it on the podcast, like, the Sonic team has, like, a fucking toaster. And they're embracing their meme, Sega is. Like, they've fully embraced the fact that they lost the console wars of their generation. They've become, you know, increasingly aware that the market's already oversaturated with the three. They technically have no real desire, it seems, to put out a new console or to attempt to put out a new console. But yet we live in a fucking era where there's an Atari that's on Kickstarter, or Indiegogo, or some fucking platform we talked about on the podcast. And it's been so long since that, and I forgot what fucking bullshit, you know, crowdfunding platform I was on. It's just a glorified Linux box. But it's just, it hurts to see that. It hurts to see that. Like, my God, we have become this, where we're having triple company headlines that are just so goddamn bizarre. It feels like you're in an episode of The Twilight Zone, essentially. I can't fucking... I still don't fully comprehend that this is fucking reality. Even though it clearly is. Like, it's... I know it's not that big a deal. I get that, but it is to me. Like, I grew up in an era where I was still playing a fucking Dreamcast. And then when they, you know, folded as a, you know, company that made consoles, essentially... And it's like, what? You know? Like, what was it? You're stopping making... Oh, well, we got the Xbox. Fuck it. Halo. What was Sega? But that part of my childhood is still near and dear to my heart. And to see them publishing what used to be a Sony exclusive on a fucking Nintendo platform, it is just like third level fucking messed up, man. It's just like... Whew. Yeah, it's a thing though. That's not an important one. That's not an important one. Oh yeah. I forgot about this. I forgot Thurman shared this. You can go find these trailers on YouTube. They're out there. They exist. They don't need to exist. They don't need to exist at all. We have the next round of Dragon Ball FighterZ DLC announced. Any takers on what they are? If you follow the game, frequently on like social media or on YouTube or anything, I'm sure Maximilian Dude and a million other YouTubers have already covered this that are a billion times bigger than us. But we have Frieza Saga, Goku, and Vegeta, bringing the reskin count up to half the roster. Arxis, I fucking love you. But you are not Budokai. You are not fucking Xenoverse. You are not Budokai Tenkaichi. You are not any of these fucking classic games. You're not Raging Blast. You're not any of these goddamn classic DBZ games. The reason I sank so much hype into you, the reason you fucking got everybody behind you, is because you were different. You were an untested company in the goddamn Dragon Ball fucking universe. You were the chosen one, essentially. Yes, I just Star Wars this shit. You were the fucking chosen one to save this goddamn godforsaken shitty fucking fighting game franchise. And you just blew. You got down on your knees and you sucked the biggest, fattest fucking cock for money. You are making reskins of reskins of reskins of reskins that do not need to fucking exist in this goddamn game. So please, if you do a fucking Season 2 for your DLC, do something unique. Do the unpredictable. Because anybody that's ever played a goddamn Dragon Ball fighting game could have seen this coming a million miles away. You're going to do exactly what you want to fucking do, and it still hurts our goddamn souls because you were supposed to be better. You were supposed to be better than fucking every other company that's touched this because you care about mechanics. You care about the fucking franchise. You spent so much making this look like a goddamn manga panel that your fucking figure sold out in, I think it was like a week. That fucking special edition. Which is unheard of, really, for an Arxis game to be out of stock that quickly. But because you spent so much attention to detail, so much recreating classic moments in the series, you cared about this, it seemed. Now we see what you really care about. We see you cared about the money. You knew that you could milk the Dragon Ball fandom for every fucking cent. And sadly, this makes us lose faith in you. This makes us lose faith in your company. Any further Dragon Ball FighterZ games that would come out. Kind of makes me hesitant to pick up the Kill the Kill game as a huge Kill the Kill fan. Kind of makes me hesitant to, continue buying anything from you. If you're going to prioritize your monetization over it. Like, I knew you loved DLC and microtransactions. I didn't give a shit about that. Because that's how the market works now. It doesn't have to, but it is. So I'm kind of disappointed that you've fallen to this, trap of like, let's just become every other Dragon Ball game. And I'm sure Thurman and I will touch on this and the Chaos Gaming for fighting games. So stay tuned for that. It's 2 episodes away. But yeah, there'll be some Dragon Ball FighterZ footage, Blaze Blue Cross Tag footage in the background for our discussion. That would be our episodes, technically 3 and 4, because the pilot was 4 micro episodes. And then, yeah, that'll be an interesting one to dive into more with Thurman, who's as completely pissed as I am at this point. But I digress. I think that about wraps us up. This has been a 30-minute video. Thanks for tuning in. This does, rather well. I might do more of these, like, mini news wrap-ups of my own. I rather enjoy doing them, so who knows, I might do them anyway. Until next time, peace.